Hari Jai Radha
Kunja Bihari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari
Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girvardhari
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana
Jamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamunatira Vanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi Janavallabha
Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamunatira Vanachari
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Ayo Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada.
Nitai Gaura Haribo,
Hari Hari.
Haribo, Haribo, Nitai Gaura Haribo, Nitai Gaura
Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo.
नाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्रीमद्
Jai,
भागवतम महापुराण की जय,
Jai,
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं
Narayanam Namaskrityam
चैव नरोत्तमं
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
Tato Jayamudire
प्रायेषु भद्रेषु
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
भगवती उत्तमश्लोके
Bhagavati Uttam Shloke
भवति नैष्टिकी।
Bhakti Bhavati Nastiki.
Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter number 7, text number 17 and 18. Chapter number is 7. So we are reading the text in the verse 17. Iti priyam valgu vichitra jalpahe sa santa santva yitva chutamitra sutaha anva brava vanshita ugradharma kapi dvaja guru putram rathena. Translation: Arjuna, who is guided by the infallible Lord as friend and driver, thus satisfied the dear lady by such statements. Then he dressed in armor and armed himself with furious weapons, and getting into his chariot, he set out to follow Ashwattama, the son of his martial teacher. Text number 18. Tam apatanantam sa vilakshaya duryat kumara Kodvigna manaratena paradravat prana parishpur urvyam yavad gamam rudra bhayat yatakaha. Translation and purport again by Srila Prabhupada. Ashwatthama, the murderer of princes, seeing from a great distance Arjuna coming at him with a great speed, fled in his chariot, panic-stricken just to save his life, as Brahma fled in fear from Shiva. According to the reading matter, either Ka or Arkaha, there are two references in the Puranas. Ka means Brahma, who once became allured by his daughter and began to follow her, which infuriated Shiva, who attacked Brahma with his trident. Brahma fled in fear of his life. As far as Arkaha is concerned, there is a reference in Vamana Purana. There was a demon by the name Vidyunmali. Vidyunmali was gifted with a glowing golden aeroplane, which traveled to the back of the sun, and at night disappeared because of the glowing effulgence of this plane. Thus the sun god became angry, and with his virulent rays he melted the plane. This enraged Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva then attacked the sun god, who fled away and at last fell down at Kashi, Varanasi, and the place became famous as Lolar Kha. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashlakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Tapatagamanam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Sta Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sargana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sargana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Sta हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरु भ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे हरे नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नित्य नामने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादिवास्यात देशतारिणे मूकां करोति वाचां पंगुलंगायति कृपाथं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतानं परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरं नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. Arjuna, who is guided by the infallible Lord as friend and driver, thus satisfied the dear lady by such statements. Then he dressed in armor and armed himself with furious weapons, and getting into his chariot, he set out to follow Ashwatthama, the son of his martial teacher. Thank you for joining. And can the host unmute only myself and the rest to be muted? It will be really useful because there's no crosstalks. Thank you. Okay, so this is very important for us. First of all, welcome all to the Sunday morning program. I'm sure that many of you have joined in the starting itself and also the Srimad Bhagavatam class. This is a serious subject matter. The Srimad Bhagavatam itself is a very serious subject matter. On top of it, this particular verse is also actually giving us a lot of guidance towards becoming more serious. The previous verse which was discussed, the translation is that, "O gentle lady, when I present you with the head of that Brahmana, after beheading him with arrows from my Gandiva bow, I shall then wipe the tears from your eyes and pacify you. Then after burning your son's bodies, you can take your bath standing on his head." That is Ashwatthama's head. Seriously, this is not a small woe. This is what you call as confidence to achieve something. And that too from a Kshatriya. It's coming from a warrior class of people. And they do that. Arjuna could not only do that because he was not just very confident about his own prowess, but he was confident because Krishna was always his ever well-wishing friend and his dearmost disciple also. And is the infallible Lord who is present there, right? Prabhupada explains in 1964 Srimad Bhagavatam class which he gave on this, almost the similar verses, not the same verses, similar verses. He said the infallible Lord means one who never falls from his transcendental position, not like us who desire to enjoy this material world. And hence we were ready to relinquish, and we relinquished our original position. That the position was of the place of service, just for this material enjoyment in this material plane and platform. Arjuna could achieve this because Krishna was the constant guidance for every single act or every single decision he was making. He used to consult with the Lord, and Krishna was giving that proper exclusive guidance to him. In fact, when there was a description, this is actually an episode, which is actually, we are actually taking in an episode, which is an extension of Srimad Mahabharata. We are discussing here on the subject matter of Ashwatthama, the son of Drona. He is the martial teacher of the Kurus and son of Drona, and he is being punished. Why is he being punished? Is what we are actually discussing. And it's more and more going deeper and deeper. So this is a part of a bit of the episode which is coming a part of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's a very inclusive and it's very, very conscious effort done by Vyasadeva to include all these into the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, because we need to know how the Srimad Bhagavatam evolved. So we need to understand this. Hereby it is very clearly stated that a person cannot be what he is just by the inheritance, right? Like, for example, a Brahmana has to be really a Brahmana, not by inheritance, but he should show the qualities he has acquired by the process of his livelihood, his process of by proper association. We discussed about this, what a bad association or a bad element can bring us into, right? Satyanath Prabhu was explaining that in the last week. So consequently, if you notice that when we come into this world, we are exclusively pure, right? We have nothing to do with anything because we are praying to the Lord, oh Lord, please deliver me out of this womb, right? This is a very beautiful explanation in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which explains and evolves how the living entity which is stuck in the mother's womb wants to come out, because it's been bitten left, right, and center by the worms, by insects, by anything and everything. We are rejoicing ourselves outside. Just imagine yourself if you are put into a plastic bag where there is no air. Absolutely, you can't breathe. This happens to us very quite often, right? Let's say, for example, you are in an elevator, right? You are in a lift. You're sitting in the lift and you're traveling, maybe third floor, fifth floor, seventh floor, 10th floor. Suddenly the lift stops. Suddenly the electricity blocks off and you are in a trouble because it becomes pitch dark. You feel suffocated. You don't know. Even though there are a lot of pockets of air which actually comes into the box where you're standing, but you feel some kind of you need to take a deep breath. You feel that as if you are like a fish out of water. This is exactly what is happening to all of us. We have prayed to the Lord when we were in the mother's womb that, oh Lord, please deliver us out of this place. It's a very, very hellish condition. We are not able to tolerate it. Moment I come out of this womb, I will become your devotee and a servant eternally. Every single time we have been praying like this and we come outside, at that point of time, you are super pure because you are really honestly thinking about the Lord. And moment you come outside, because of this particular association, because of this particular environment, things happen beyond our control. It spirals out of our control in our lives. That's exactly what is happening to Ashwatthama. He was born in a Brahminical family with the super lineage, like Dronacharya being his father. It's not a small thing. Still, his association with the Kauravas, the acts which is outrageous. Imagine someone killing 5 children who are exclusively not even bothered about anything across the world. They don't even know. They were just lying and they were sleeping. This guy goes, chops like a butcher. All these are pastimes, of course. It's tailored by the Lord. The decision is by the Lord's decision. Nothing works without this. Due to this is an exclusive instigation of the free will of the living entity, which actually kicks into our system, right? There is no element of surrender because we have relinquished it. And because of that, we are choosing this kind of a path of very, very hellish way of life or hellish way of thought process in our system. This story is very much related to all of us. Each of us have actually chosen our own way of life. So we are what we are at this point. If someone takes a serious practice of Krishna consciousness, then he will definitely be guided by the Lord, Supreme Lord Krishna himself, just like how he's guiding Arjuna, just like how he's guiding many, many different wonderful devotees, because element of surrender has come into picture. But here, Ashwatthama is a rebel against the system. Even Duryodhana had to relinquish him because he said that this is heinous. You killed the last five probable inherited personalities of my entire race, and that too when they were sleeping. This is not being directed by me. You might be thinking that you are pleasing me by that act, but honestly, you are not. My only hope that the Kuru dynasty can continue, that also you have erased. Prabhupada explains that the secret of one's life is not by saying that I'm in UK and US. Prabhupada explains this actually in one of the morning talks. He's saying, don't be proud of being born in the US or UK. He says Europe, not UK as such. But to realize slowly, steadily that we are always servant of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, for which we are being created in the first instance. And why should we realize? When should we realize? How should we realize that we are a tiny instrument in the Lord's hands? And if we do so, then our life becomes success. Today, we are in a super fast-paced life, fast-paced world. We actually wanted to do so many things, and it's not the like as the days were in 5,000 years ago. See the kind of vows Arjuna is taking. Tremendous. Even though it is pretty gross, but tremendous. These are not small stuff. It can't be even imagined. Forget about achieving. He did the same thing before. He wanted to kill Jayadratha for killing his own son, right? And what did he say? That I have to somehow or the other kill. I have to somehow or the other kill. Kill whom? This guy Jayadratha. Why? Because he is the one who blocked my son from coming out of the Chakravyuha. There was no other option. He had to do that. And he took that. So the headache was whom? It was not on Arjuna. The headache was on Krishna to figure out how to reach this guy Jayadratha. Because the Kurus, the Kauravas had already decided, okay, Arjuna is going to kill Jayadratha. If he is not killing, that guy is going to die today, and then we are done with the match. The match is over. It is like identifying that Arjuna is the chief personality who can change the view or the focus of the entire battle. Krishna has to plan. Krishna has to drive his chariot in such a manner. They almost killed almost like 12 to 14 Akshonis of army, bringing in an artificial darkness and then evolving the sun to spur up again. Who can do all these things just to make sure his devotees promise to the world or his glorifying evolution is being glorified in the entire world? Now, coming to the current world where we are in, we may be thinking about it. Why are we discussing all this on a Sunday morning? Is these slokas and passages are really, really relevant to us? Are we going to be beheading someone or making our wives to stand on the body of the person's head? And then it's pretty gross. We can't imagine all these things at this moment of time. But there is a lot of lessons which we can actually engrave it out. We can take it out. We can't imagine it, of course, for sure, but we must understand it instead that this path is meant for a Kshatriya who needs to be daring, not to get scared of a blood. But no one is a Kshatriya at this point of time. No one is a Brahmana at this point of time. No one is a proper Vaishya by this time. Everyone is a Shudra. Alternatively, we can understand, we can follow these standards set by a great devotee like a Mahajana Bhishmadev, right? Who kept his vow of determination. Before his passage of leaving this body, he did this Panchavrata, Bhishma Panchak Vrata, 5 days of austerity. This is a tremendous effort. This is a tremendous benefit we get by just following those standards for our resolute determination in serving Krishna in the best of our abilities. Just by the prayers, we can shake a mountain, what to speak of our own spiritual practice, right? world around us will be a great place to live once we are in sync with what Srila Prabhupada gave the kind of instructions in his passages. It will be brilliant, right? There was a fantastic ceremony which happened in Sridham Mayapur a few days back, where His Holiness Jayapatak Swami, His Grace Rameshwar Prabhu, Chananivas Prabhu, many great saintly devotees, they spoke about the glories of Srila Prabhupada's book distribution because they were kicking off the marathon for the December, right? So then Prabhupada was actually pushing his devotees, double it every year. Prabhupada was pushing this very important subject matter of give these books to anyone and everyone whom you see. Give this kind of a message to anyone and everyone you see. It can be from your own family, it can be in your friend circle, but books are the basis. It will give them a chance to take an option to take up Krishna consciousness. Just by distributing Srila Prabhupada's book, these people will get a chance to become Krishna conscious or at least connect with Krishna in some way or other for this life. Because human life is very rare, very unique, very special. We ourselves, just by studying Srila Prabhupada's books and instructions, it keeps us strongly settled, firmly struck with us in this process of devotional service, in the service of practice of Krishna consciousness. So this is what we all should be working towards. So all of us should work. It's like a team. It is not that an individual contributor. Of course, we can also have individual contributors, but every single here, actually, not just in this room Zoom call, but everyone whom we know, they need to take up this. This is very essential subject because to try and give out these transcendental books is actually so divine in its nature that those books have been decided already by Srila Prabhupada to whom it should go. Those books are already divine that this particular book is going to change someone's life. So many messages, so many part of information we have seen. Right? Vaisheshik Prabhu wrote this book. This is our family business. Why did he mention that? It's because Krishna consciousness is to be understood and should be shared. When you share it, that detail is what exactly is keeping us away from Maya. When we practice this, when we support this, when we help everyone to distribute, give it to all our near and dear ones, right? Keeping Gita in the house. If you don't have a Gita, keep a Gita, keep a Bhagavatam, keep a Chaitanya Charitamrita in your house. Just touch the book, study those books every single day. We can become a sage by a page, just by a verse of Krishna conscious message, just by a verse of Srimad Bhagavad Gita will keep Maya away. Because we know for sure that there is no other choice. That's why this subject matter is so serious. On a Sunday morning, it is not kept on a Sunday evening where we are in the mode of passion or ignorance. No, Bhagavatam is kept in the Sunday morning because Prabhupada wanted this. We have not realized it. It's not come into our system yet. How many of us want to give us these wonderful books in this marathon? Every single one of us should give. This is our life. Tava katamritam tapta jivanam. Right? Kavi riditam bhuridachana. This is what is devotees of Krishna do. Give it out to the Lord's mercy, Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Probably you can sponsor a box, we can place it in the prison or probably in the hospitals. Just recently that we had a program in RBH, Royal Berkshire, right? Where this particular hospital is so famous that many great personalities of royal patronage, royal household, they have all taken birth there, right? But then we had wonderful devotees going out of their way to accommodate and did the Damodar program. Just like Manjusha Mataji, she came out with some very innovative way. Let's have a Zoom every day from 7 o'clock to 7:15, job done. 15 minutes, that's all. Don't do anything more. You just do Damodar program. We don't know how much of Sukriti which is being generated by this entire process for the last 1 month. Every single devotee who has helped in some way or other, whether they're making a key-wicks, they are posting a letter, posting a book, posting um, a card, or doing a program, or calling someone to work out for a program. This is fantastic. Every single devotee has taken a loads and loads of credit into their system. These are piety. This will increase our spiritual practice, increase our spiritual goal. I was just reading one particular verse, 8.5, sometime back. Antakalecha mameva smaranmukta kalevaram ya prayati samadbhavam yati nasti atra samshaya. So Prabhupada explains that by chanting the holy name of Krishna, you actually get connected with the Supreme Lord all the time. And that will help us to change the way in which we look at this world and go back to God. And that is our spiritual credit, right? In essence, we can all work as a team to reach Srila Prabhupada. Imagine if Prabhupada did not give these literatures to us. Imagine if Prabhupada did not come to the West. How could even we were considered to be sitting in this room and understanding what kind of glorious instructions Srila Prabhupada gave us, right? How do we even know about that? What is this Srimad Bhagavatam contain? What this Srimad Bhagavad Gita contain? How to take up a very sinless lifestyle? Ashwatthama is a murderer, right? He is a murderer of the princess. Just by seeing at a distance that Arjuna came on him. Something happening? Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhu, you are
Yes,
audible.
Prabhuji, we can hear. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you. So Ashwatthama was a murderer just by seeing at a great distance, not even nearby. Arjuna is already in his chariot with his Gandiva bow and he is ready to go full on to make sure that this guy does not escape his focus center. He's already there. Krishna is all decked up. He is ready and they have started the chariot and it's flying in the greatest speed which you can imagine. Manorathena. It's not simply walking like a child. It is flying on the speed of mind to chase up with this Ashwatthama who is running. He is already panic stricken. He has already left his body. He's gone and dead. He knows about it. Just to save his life, he's wondering how. Prabhupada explains this by beautiful explanation that Brahma fled in fear of Lord Shiva. Sun God fled in fear of Lord Shiva. When Brahma fled, it was terrible. He did not know what to have, what kind of thing is happened. That is a place in Karnataka. This place is a beautiful place. It's a hilly region. This place is called Devarayana Durga. This basically it's a place where there are two forms of Lord Narsimdev who manifested. There is a relation to that particular thing which I am saying here, right? Brahma was meditating and he started doing a lot of things. Here, Brahma flew from Lord Shiva. And what happened? Lord Shiva took his trident and he just forced it on Brahma's head. So previously, Lord Brahma had 5 heads and now it became 4 heads. And what happened in that process? One of the head got stuck with Lord Shiva's hands. That is called Brahmakpal. This place is there in Badrinath. If you go there, actually they do Pinda Pradhan there. And if you do the Pinda Pradhan, those Pinda Pradhans accumulate the piety. And at one point of time, the head of Lord Brahma will fall from the hands of Lord Shiva. That is also a pastime which is already there. If you go to Badrinath, you can actually see that place. And it also gives you a lot of, it's a divine, really very transcendental place. It's very peaceful, very calm. You can actually see Ganges flowing at a super speed just outside this particular place called Brahmakapal. But here, Brahma has got a very important role to play. He is a creator. He keeps creating left, right, and center, right? Whatever he creates is exclusive, unique, and very amazing because the entire creation is amazing. Because we can see how a tree can be brought out just by a seed. All these things are there. Krishna's empowerment on Lord Brahma is created all these things. But at one particular point of time, he loses his peace. This is very important for all of us. We might be super rich, we might be billionaires, but the inner peace, if it's missing, we cannot go anywhere. We are stuck, done, and dusted. So that inner peace is the same thing for you, for me, for everyone, including Lord Brahma. Now, this kind of a situation has occurred to him. So then there was no other choice. And so he went to the Lord and prayed, "Oh Lord, what do I do? I am not able to get that peace. I'm very agitated, very disturbed with all these creations, which is impacting me." So the Lord said, "Go to this place called Devarayana Durga, sit and meditate on me. There is a form of myself who will evolve." So when Lord Brahma maintained that meditational mood and he went and sat and meditated for a long time, Lord Narsimdev came out. He came out, Swayambhu, as he is. He came out and gave his darshan there. And he said that anyone who goes to that place and sits there, meditates, even being in that place for one moment is enough for him to get inner peace for the rest of his life and for his eternity of the soul. So this is the kind of mood and meditation which we all need to have. Around us, there are so many disturbances, distortions which is happening across us. Why? Because there are so many activities being forced upon us. Just like how Brahma was feeling the fear of Lord Shiva and he ran away. Basically, fear comes from what? When we have done something wrong to others or going to do something ill to others. That is when the fear comes into the picture. But we as devotees, we don't have that because we know that we should not even be doing all this. So Urdham Sarvabhutanam, Krishna is there to protect. He's a divine protector and he's our only shelter. So we take shelter of Krishna and we meditate on the Lord. We pray to the Lord that, "Oh Lord, please give me a chance that I become a more and more better devotee to serve the other devotees and take up Krishna consciousness." We don't want to see this kind of a gross fight out, just like how Ashwatthama now eventually he's going to let loose because he doesn't have it. He's got a fear because he's going to die. And the way in which he's going to die is going to be really, really a game changer. What he did, he is going to do something else very, very obnoxious. He had already generated the thought process of instigating the divine weapons. So he's going to use the Brahmastra and he's going to trigger off, but which he only knows to trigger, but he doesn't know how to recapture it. So that we will actually study a little later. But we as devotees, this is the right period of time. Believe my words, this is the right period of time that we need to come to that conscious attempt for us to become Krishna conscious. Otherwise, we are going to lose the race. Time is really, really catching up us so badly. Today we are 50, tomorrow 60, the third day we are 70. And that's it. Our life is over. Prabhupada says maximum we live is 100 years. But how 100 years with this kind of a complete gross, what do you call, pollution in every single time, place where we go? Today we are just hearing that in Delhi people are not able to breathe. I was talking with our devotee, Narmadajan Prabhu. He lives in Delhi, outskirts in Gurugram. And he was saying that, yeah, the impact is so bad that everyone is coughing, everyone is sick, and we don't have a choice. We don't know what to do. And this kind of situation is occurring to every part of the world. And there is global warming, there is global warfare happening, there is instigations everywhere, Third World War, Fourth World War, whatever they call. Why are we praying to these kind of situations? We should pray eagerly and thought process oriented that, "Oh Krishna, please protect us. We are your servant for eternity. We don't have anything to do with this world. We made a mistake, we came here. We don't want to make the same mistake again. We want to come back to your lotus feet. We wanted to serve you lotus feet eternally. We want to serve all the devotees eternally. We have got nothing to do with anything happening in this world because this is a place of dukkhalem ashashvatam. When we come to that process consciously, then we will naturally become Krishna conscious. And this is where sadhu sangha is very important. Asat sangha is very, very important. We have to let go that asat sangha. Asat sangha tyaga e Vaishnava achar. Sadhu sangha sarva shastra koi. Lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi koi. We should get these devotees association, like-minded devotees association, where they are all the time thinking or meditating upon the Supreme Lord, Supreme Lord's pastimes, Supreme Lord's pastimes with his devotees, then our life is a great success. Till that period of time, we are a lot of challenges. We may ask this question. This is very natural. Prabhu, you have told all these things. It's so nice to hear on a Sunday morning. But give me on a practical grounds. What do? I have to work for my food. I have to take care of my family. I have to do this. I have to do that. So many activities are there which is challenging us, that we are not able to sit in one place to chant our 16 rounds at one shot. Right? When we just take our beat back, our phone rings. When we just take our beat back to say the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, someone else calls from the kitchen and says that, okay, take care of this. The child is ready to go to the school, this one, that one, this one, so many, right? I'm not blaming all this. It's not a cribby point. We should not crib. We should be really sincere. We should show our appreciation and gratitude that Krishna has given us a chance to be in this body, because Krishna is still the controller of our body. The next moment, the moment he thinks that, okay, I don't want to be in this body, I'm out of this body, and we are gone. It's just a flickering moment. We don't think so. We are actually consuming ourselves. We are thinking ourselves that we are going to be there in this body forever. We have taken many, many things for granted. Dear devotees, change this attitude. Don't take things for granted. Don't assume. Don't speculate. Don't think you are the boss. We are only the das. We can never be the boss. This moment of time is extremely, extremely pure, extremely, extremely precious. Next moment, what is going to happen? Only Krishna knows. What we have in hand, we need to actually act. What is out of our hand, we just leave it to the Lord to decide. So in order for the Lord to decide, we need to channelize our energy to the right pathway where Krishna can guide us, right? He says that in the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, right? Am sarvasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanitaha machita matgata prana bodhayantasta parasparam katayantasta mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. This is what is needed for us. How do we meditate? How do we read? How do we understand these great examples of these great devotees? Prahlad Maharaj, Prabhupada gives so many beautiful pastimes about Prahlad Maharaj's determination to serve the Supreme Lord Narasimha, right? With so much of grievances, you can't imagine. He's been put he's been thrown in a mountain, he's been thrown in a sea, he's been made to bite with the most venomous serpents in the entire world. All these things. Apart from that, Prahlad Maharaj had just only one thing. May the Lord be giving all these demons a chance to live. I just want to only serve the Lord eternity. Imagine the thought process that great Prahlad Maharaj, who is just 5 years old, and we don't have these kind of problems. And we pray that we don't get one also, because we can't manage it. The only way by which we can actually manage is that if we can pray every day, at least for the 1 hour period, spend that pure time with you and the Supreme Lord, build up the relationship. Let's make a beautiful bridge where we can actually pass over. It's not difficult, but we need to do it. No one is going to come and tell you. It's your choice. That is why all these things are there. Books are there for you to understand. Vaishnavas are there for your guidance. Prasadam is there to equip yourself and completely give you a kavacha, right? Chanting the holy names of the Lord is there for you to connect with the Lord. That's the connection. That's the communication channel, right? This is what is we need to do. And if you want to do it, you are in safe place. If you don't want to do it, you are definitely, no one is going to take responsibility for it, nor no one is going to come and tell you that, okay, Prabhu, please do it. Because everyone is going to drive their own aeroplane moment they touch the air. Till that period, Prabhupada says, okay, you got guide, you got user manual, you got devotees, everyone can guide you, tell you everything. Yes, build up this system. This system is what you need to build up in order to you to fly this flight, whether it is F-16 or F-18 or whatever, but you have to drive your own flight. And that is what matters a lot. And it is the only thing which matters. I'll stop here. If you have any questions, concerns, or probably some reflections, most welcome. This is the gist of this particular verse. And I had to include two more important points of why this is very much relevant for us, even though it is pretty grossly mentioned, where we can take some kind of inspiration from great Mahajanas like Bhishmadev. That's very important for us. Okay. Any questions, comments, reflections, please?
Good morning, Vishal Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Vishal Prabhu, Aswathama is one of the seven Chiranjeevis for this
Who?
heinous act.
Who is Ashwatthama? Yes, okay.
So,
Yeah.
for this heinous act,
Mm-hmm.
how did he um, make penance? Did he ever get a chance to correct his mistakes
Yeah, he is
in the
now
future?
repenting, no? That's why he's stuck here. He's already started the process of his penance. He's already repenting. He is supposed to be a Chiranjeeva, right? What is a Chiranjeeva? There are seven Chiranjeevas, right? Like Anjaneya, Hanuman is one of them. Markandeya Rishi is another one. So all these great devotees are always devotees. Even though they have see, that is why there is two things we should understand. There is something called Nadi Moolam. Another one is called Rishi Moolam. Moolam means the root. Just like how Gangotri is the root of Ganga, right? Yamunotri is the root of Yamuna. So this Moolam means the source from which they evolve. Like for example, Saraswati. Saraswati is actually in a place in a village called Mana. She comes out like a gushing water from a solid boulder. The boulder is as big as probably a five-story building or something. She gushes out, but moment she gushes out, there is a barrier kind of thing. Maybe another boulder itself. Actually, it's like a barrier. Moment she hits that, she's vanished. She's not there. So we don't know the root of every single place, the source of every single place. So we should not discuss these two things, the rishis and the nadis. In the same way, every devotee of the Lord, we are all devotees by default, and everyone who is born is a devotee of the Lord because we have already prayed that, oh Lord, please give me a birth so that I can become a devotee. But some or the other time immemorially, because of all these kind of environmental issues or associational issues, we have lost that finer touch connection. Prabhupada explains the example of a tube light or a bulb. The source of the bulb is the electric connection, which is from the switch. If you click on the switch, the bulb is going to glow. If you don't click the right source, and bulb is not going to glow. Ashwatthama has already started the process of cleansing himself for the repentance he has done. Prayaschitam is there, right? In one of the scriptures, it is said that if you are a Brahmana and if you are going to do an atonement, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a very challenging situation because every atonement is going to be a very challenging methodology in that. You might be doing as an atonement, but it might going wrong. It might be you might be doing wrong also. But in case of Ashwatthama to become a Chiranjeevi, that's not a great importance because in fact, the Bhavishya Purana is explaining that Ashwatthama is going to be the next Indra.
Mm.
So you can be wondering, what is this? Ashwatthama, he did all kind of all goofy works he did. He killed these Pancha Pandavas children. He did a lot of hooliganism in the entire war. He is born as a Brahmin family with a great lineage, but he didn't practice anything properly in order for him to be called as a Brahmana. He is a Dvija Bandhu. He is not directly a Brahmana in that sense. So he has started the process of atonement. Does it answer you?
Yes, Prabhuji. Just one follow-on observation or comment.
Hmm.
Usually, the Chiranjeevis are believed to embody good virtues such as
Hmm.
sacrifice,
Right.
wisdom, whatever XYZ.
Hmm.
Whereas Aswathama was a little bit of a deviation from this whole thing.
He initially had it. He had all the good qualities, but due to the strong bad association of the Kuru, right? When you say Kuru, it basically means Kauravas. I mean, not Kurus generally is Pandavas plus Kauravas is equal to Kurus. But in this aspect, Prabhupada explains there is in Mahabharata also it mentions sometimes the Kauravas are also called Kurus because they are a larger segment compared to the Pancha Pandavas. So he was very honest and very nice devotee. He was practicing all these things. Somehow or other, the element of enviousness got into his system through Duryodhana's association. So it impacted quite a lot of him, and then he started his downsliding. So that is why. There is a verse in Bhagavad Gita. Maybe someone can pick it up. It says, Sadhureva Samantabhya. What is that? Ananya Bhak. Sadhureva Samantabhya. I'm just recollecting that. So it says that even though a saintly person makes a mistake, you should not consider it's a great gross material mistake. It might be materially it's a great mistake and it's like this. But you should consider that in the core of his heart, he is still a saint in terms of serving the Supreme Lord. He still has a connection with the Supreme Lord. So in that way, we don't know what these people and personalities are. We should just take it as a pastime because everyone is playing a role for the pleasure of Krishna. Right?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, that's the
Hare
thing.
Krishna, Prabhu. Just
Apitetu Durachara. Yes. Apitetu Durachara. Bhajante Mane Nibhak Sadhireva Samantavya. Samyak Vyavsayitu Si. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. In this connection, I just, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but what I had heard was that Ashwatthama was cursed, like, at the end, right? That he had to live a life of a Chiranjeevi where, in which, but he will have all the kind of skin diseases and like leprosy and everything. So even and he will not be able to eat anything, although if he feels hunger and everything. So even if he wants death, he'll not be given death and
Correct.
he will have to live. So I'm just trying to understand. Is it a boon to live as a Chiranjeevi or is it a curse here in this case to live as a Chiranjeevi
In
that
his point is that he made a mistake which is pretty gross. Even though he knew that he is not supposed to do as a son of a Brahmana, but he did that. And that is why he had to go through this atonement. And he was given this. Not the other
Okay,
Chiranjeevis went through this. Hanuman is a Chiranjeevi.
right,
Markandeya is a Chiranjeevi. They are not of this nature. Hanuman
correct,
is more of he is a selfless personality, right? Lord Shiva himself explains this. The difference between Hanuman and Ravana is that, right? Ravana is selfish. He wants it for himself. But Hanuman is not selfish. He's selfless. He wants it for the humanity. You can see that. He is also Chiranjeevi, right? Hanuman is one. Markandeya Rishi is the same. He was asked this boon, right? When Dharmaraj came, Yamaraj came, he asked that, I'm going to take you back. What are you going to do? So then Lord Shiva said that I can make you Chiranjeevi. What is that you want to do? He said, I want to live my life for the best of for the humanity. So that's the variation. But he had to go through this. This is something which we cannot actually read or discuss from the pages of any of the books. Only Krishna knows why he has been why he cursed Ashwatthama of this nature. That he needs to suffer, he needs to be in a place where it's loneliness, he needs to feel the depressing thought process, he needs to feel the presence of absolutely lot of like a leprosy or whatever, all kinds of diseases which you can even contemplate of. So this is I don't know whether it's a boon or it's a bane, but
right.
he's been
Oh,
given
so
that
this
and
is the atonement we are talking about then, Prabhuji, like what he is
what is
going
it?
through. So this is the atonement, like what that the condition that he has to bear for life.
One
I
way
mean,
of
we don't know. Yeah.
getting an atonement of this nature also is an atonement.
Mm,
For us,
mm,
there is a different kind of atonement. When we feel bad about doing something wrong, what do we feel? We'll feel very morose, right?
right,
We feel very
right,
let down. We don't know what we are doing it. Oh my God, why did it happen to me? Why should I do that? I hurted this devotee. I didn't expect this kind of thing to happen from me. My mouth was talking something wrong, ill about others. I need to change myself from these kind of things. How do I do that? You go and pray.
right, right.
That is the only way by which you can get atonement, right? In
Mm,
one of the verses, if you are a Brahmana, your atonement is to serve Shaligram. every single day. Shaligrama Shilavari Papari Visheshitaha Ajanmakrita Papanam Prayasittam Dine Dine. This Prayasittam is called atonement in English. You have to worship Shaligram Bhagavan in the form of every single day you need to worship. If you start worshipping, one fine day, the atonement is achieved. So it's not that. These are all long-term activities which you need to keep on doing. But Lord Chaitanya has given us one single atonement which is super quick. Just simply chant Hare Krishna and there's nothing else you need to do. But that we think, oh my God, this is too simple. I think there is something bogus. We don't want to take it. But Lord Chaitanya is saying this is the most easiest and the quickest process to achieve that atonement, which we are talking. That is not given to others. It's given to us common people. Imagine yourself and myself. I can't even imagine myself sitting and reading, studying Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. I can't even imagine. This is not meant for us. In the olden days, these are meant only for the sadhus and saints who have dedicated 100% of their life in Krishna's service. They sit and read and study and all this. Now we are all grahasthas. We sit in our house. We have our family to manage. We have our children to take care. We have got our works to deal with. Still, we are sitting and reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So, who is better? In one sense, we are better because they are 100% dedicated only to do that. We are 500% dedicated to serve Krishna in the best of our ability. Right? That beautiful pastime about Narada Rishi and the farmer is given, right? Narada Rishi was given a pot of oil and he was asked to go around a mountain and ask him how many times he is able to remember Lord Vishnu. Narada Muni was not able to even remember one time Lord Vishnu's name because he was very scared whether the water oil will spill out of the whatever pot he had. But here is a farmer who was actually throwing the seeds on the floor onto his land and he was tilling the land. He was only singing the glories of Krishna. So this is how it is. Many things we cannot understand, conceive about these great devotees. Ashwatthama, no doubt, my due respects to him, he is what he is. We cannot know. He is a great personality. Otherwise, how will Krishna? See, this kind of curse is not for normal people like you and me. We can't sustain this. He must be extraordinarily brilliant personality. In order to do so, his dose of medicine is given to him to manage. That is needed, no? You and me probably will take one spoon of maybe Calfol or whatever and then keep it going. That's our life. That's our store. We cannot deal more than that. But here is Arjuna, here is Ashwatthama, here is Draupadi, here is Yudhishthira Maharaj. Everyone is actually discussing what kind of treatment is going to come to him, which will eventually reach to. In that aspect, Ashwatthama was cursed by Krishna himself. Imagine the Supreme Lord cursing. Why will we hear a curse from the Supreme Lord? That is inconceivable for me. We should get the blessings of the Supreme Lord, but blessings itself is a boon for him at this moment. So that's how we should go with.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Yes. Sundaru Prabhu, I saw you raising your hands.
Hare Krishna, Vandana.
Pranams, yes.
Very nice session. Yeah, that
Very nice what?
very nice session today.
Okay.
Like as always. So yeah, I mean, as Aswadhama thinks, whatever learning is like how, like, due to by Prabhupada's mercy and all sadhus and sanghas messing mercy, we are getting this association. So right association, how it is important to everyone, but sometimes we forget. We do one day and then next day we forget again.
Correct.
Generally, so that we need to motivate each other, this group, then bring more.
Yes. Sure, Prabhu. Yeah, you're right.
Thank you.
We should motivate each other. Yeah, we need to.
Motivate.
We don't have anyone else. We have only ourselves to motivate ourselves. No one is going to come and tell you that you do this, you do that. It's your choice. If you do it, you're going to get somewhere. And no one is going to come and tell you that, okay, get up in the morning, go to your office. No one is going to come and tell you. It's your job. You need to go. If you want some money, you need to get up and go. So that's how it is.
Yes,
Lord Chaitanya has given us everything what is needed for us to take it to the next level of our Krishna consciousness. Simple process, taking Krishna Prasadam, taking association of like-minded devotees, chanting the holy names of the Lord, studying the scriptures. That's all we need. There is no other things. A, B, C, D is already given to us. We just have to follow this process, and that's going to take us to our spiritual path. That's it.
Thank you.
Okay. Rupa Das Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes.
Prabhu, you mentioned this sadhu sangha, sarva shastra koye, love matra, sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoye. So, Prabhu, this formula, like love matra, sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoye, does it not work for everyone, Prabhu? Like for the Duskriti, no, like Duryodhana, he also got plenty of chants associating with sadhus, even Lord Krishna's association. So why it didn't work on him, Prabhu? Like there are so many in our society as well. Like ISKCON, we see Krishna consciousness, and like maybe 1% people are following. Like, so why this? Like many people are getting chants, but you know it's not working for them. Their heart is not changing, Prabhu. Yeah. So why is that?
Good question, actually. Why? And I'm sure you also know the answer to it. The free will of the living entity is very strong. The free will is not going to be so easy. You can choose what you want, right? Prabhupada says, you sow what you reap. If you put an apple tree, seed of an apple, and you're expecting an orange tree to come out, that's wrong. Your expectations are wrong. All these people are being given so many hundreds and thousands of opportunities. We keep asking as devotees, please give us some donation, please chant Hare Krishna, please take this book, please take some Krishna Prasadam, please come for a program, nice kirtan. You ask our Sundaru Prabhu, he keeps calling everyone and anyone over the phone. And then how many people respond to him? They'll only give galis. They'll say, I don't waste my time, I've got better works to do. So, okay, you cannot do anything. This is the free will of a living entity, right? This living entity's nature itself is like that. Tatastha. They will not accept good wills and good natures and good calls. They will not, they don't want to. No one, to be honest with you, no one wants to do devotional service because the nature is to rebel against the system. But Prabhupada has given us such a formula that no has become yes. If not for Prabhupada, we would not have been doing all these things. Probably Sunday morning, do you think we would have got up out of our bed? We'll probably sleeping another 2 hours extra. I'm seeing that in India. People are putting some film musics and all that all through the night. What kind of consciousness they will be having? They cannot even pursue the process of Krishna consciousness. It is all the time away from Krishna. There are so many options and opportunities given to be away from Krishna. But the free will is the one which is actually stopping them. Moment your free will is channelized towards the Supreme Lord, automatically the element of surrender comes into the picture. Right? Automatic of surrender, then Masujaha, Asamshaya, Nasamshaya comes into the picture. Krishna has given us so many places. Antakalecha Mameva, Sparan Mukta Kalayavanya, Preti Sabadbhavam, Yati Nasti, Atra Samshaya. Don't have a doubt. Nasamshaya, Asamshaya, Asamshaya Mahavaho. Everywhere Krishna has explained all these things. But are we ready to accept? First day we accept, second day we accept, third day we doubt. Doubting soul will never get peace in this world and next world. So in these kind of aspects, even though the devotees, even though the saints, even though they are going out of their way to assist, help, oh Lord, please give us a chance. And we will give this chance to these people who are completely, that is where your role and my role plays into the picture. We are only praying that, oh Lord, please empower us so that we can give this Krishna consciousness to others. The moment you give that to others, you will feel happy. Because we are preachers of Krishna consciousness, and our only job is to become more and more stronger in our resolute determination to serve the Supreme Lord in devotion service. And that aspect and element we can give to these people. Because of that free will, it's going topsy-turvy to them. But again, devotees are very, very merciful, paradukha dukhi. They go slowly. No problem. Today you chant one round, no problem. Tomorrow you chant another round, no problem. You take some Here, some biscuits for you. Here, some cakes. My wife made a cake. You can have it. We give these kind of options. Alternative options are given to everyone. Moment you get that opportunity, and then they will taste that, and there is slow change in the heart. Right?
Yes, Prabhu.
That will change. That's the idea. Okay?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
I humbly request all of you here in this, and also pass on the message to those who could not connect today, to kindly pray strongly to the Supreme Lord, Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu, and the Supreme Lord Radha Shyam Sundar and Madhav, to always be our guiding light, and to Srila Prabhupada to be our only guiding light, so that we serve them for their pleasure. And December marathon is coming up. I want all of us to take this opportunity to at least distribute 1 or 2 books. Yeah. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Kalpadrubhyasya kripa sindebhyam paitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Anantokoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Okay. Is any announcements? Dominic Prabhu is not here, or Helena Mataji is here. Is there any allotment services? I can't see anyone else. Okay. If there is any announcements, please look into your WhatsApp messages. That will be updated. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hope to see you all soon next week. Hare Krishna.
His Grace Vishal Garanga Prabhuji ki jai.